back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys, so I'm here today to do a book haul, and this is my book haul for January. I'm trying my best not to buy any more books in January. We'll see how that goes, because you guys know I'm not great on limiting myself to book buying, but I'm gonna try. So let's get started. I have a couple books to show you, and if you haven't seen my resolutions for the new year, my goals, then you may not know about the goal that I've set myself, which is any books that I buy, I have to read within 6 weeks. Otherwise, I have to give them to a friend or donate them to charity, because basically, if I didn't read them within 6 weeks, I shouldn't have bought it at this time anyway. So this is the first haul where those rules apply. So the way I'm keeping track of it is every time I get a book into my house that I bought or that I've been sent by a publisher or an author, I put a post-it note on the front of it and I write the date that it came in. I then also write the date that it goes out if I haven't read it, and that's the plan. So I'm happy to say one of the books that I've bought I've already read, and that is this one, Sufficiently Advanced Magic by ROWE. This book is one of the SBFBO books, and I actually bought this after having read it because I wanted a physical edition, because I loved this book so much. It was fantastic. It's one of the finalists. It is a book that I would thoroughly recommend to everyone who likes fantasy, playing games, especially things like D&D, because it has that sort of feel to it. Anyone who loves loads and loads of magic, anyone who loves the idea of like puzzles and monsters and really good character development. I think this has almost everything I love in a fantasy book. So I gave this 5 stars when I read it, and I will be doing a full review of this, so look out for it very soon. But once I'd read it, I knew I had to have a copy, so I picked this one up, and I'm really happy to own it, and I'm gonna proudly display it on my shelf, and it looks gorgeous. So really excited I picked up a copy, and also very happy that I've already read it. So this one does not need a post-it note because I've already read it. Now I'm going to show you guys the books I've been picking up. They're pretty much all, I think, for buddy reads, and I've got one more that's on the way as well, so I'll put a picture of that one in at the end. But the first one that I picked up is this one. I'll remove the post-it note for now. This is AMERICANAH by CHIMAMANDA NGOZI ADICHIE. This will be my second ADICHIE read because I have already read Half of a Yellow Sun by her. I really enjoyed it when I did a buddy read way back last year, I think, with Amanda, and so we are doing another buddy read of this one. This one, according to my post-it note, came in on the 5th of January, which means I've got until the 16th of February to read it. So the plan is that we're going to start this around the last week of January so that we can definitely get it read in time. I'm really excited. I'm very much looking forward to reading it. I believe it follows a young Nigerian couple, Ifemelu and Obinzi. I have so said that wrong, so I'm very sorry. They're young, they're in love, and they live in Nigeria, but then they leave military-controlled Nigeria, and one of them goes to America and one goes to England, and I think they get separated over the years, and then they reunite 15 years later, and it's kind of their story about not just them, but also the homeland that was kind of war-strewn when they left and is apparently now a reformed democracy when they come back. So it seems really interesting. I've heard loads of people say that this is a great book. I really enjoyed her other book, so I feel confident that I will probably like it, and I'm definitely looking forward to buddy reading this very soon. The next book that I have is a tiny little novella, and this is one that I've been meaning to pick up for a while because it's by one of my favourite authors, and that is WEAVER'S LAMENT, which is the second one in the Industrial Magic series by Emma Newman. This is a chain of Tor.com novellas. I don't know if there's just going to be these two or if there will be more in the series, but it seems like there's potential for more. I read the first one last year or the year before, whenever it came out. Really enjoyed it, but felt like it was very much a setup book. It didn't have that much development. It's a kind of steampunk world where people, when they are sort of coming of age and they have magic, are taken away to the academy to train and be trained and controlled. And we follow two main characters, a boy and a girl who are brother and sister, and both of them have magic to some degree, but the girl called Charlotte has a lot more magic than her brother, and both of them are trying to suppress it. But I guess there's like this mystery in the first book, and then there's probably going to be more of the actual school itself in the second. I'm not sure. I'm definitely excited to find out a bit more about how it goes. I love the cover design, and I think that Emma Newman's great, so really happy to have this. This one came in on the 8th of January, so I have until the 19th of February to read this one. Next up, I have another book that I picked up for a buddy read. This is The Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham. This is a classic sci-fi, and it's about a world where a cosmic event makes nearly everyone in the world blind. Our main character, Bill Mason, is one of the few who manages to retain his sight, and it's set in London where everyone is kind of on the streets needing help, and apparently there's also these plants called TRIFFIDS which are spreading. They're like mobile and they have lethal stingers and they're carnivorous and they're gonna take over all of the survivors. So it sounds pretty bleak, but hopefully it'll be a good read. I've seen a couple people talk about this and enjoy it, but it's an older work and it's one that I'm definitely excited to give a go to, because if I like it, I think he's got quite a few other books. This one came out in the 1950s, so very excited for this. And this one was the same day as I got Weaver's Lament, came in on the 8th and has to be done by the 19th of February. Next up, I have a book I was sent by the publisher, and I'm really happy to have this because it was on my anticipated releases, and that is this one, which is Iron Gold, as you can see from the spine, by P.S. Brown. This is an ARC copy. Really excited to have this, and it comes out, I think, on the 16th. Yes, 16th of January in the UK. This is a new series set in the same universe as the Red Rising trilogy, but I believe this is set a fair while after that trilogy and follows some of the same characters but also different ones. It seems like it's going to be a good read. I really enjoyed his first series, so I'm hopeful that this will be just as strong. And this one I got on the 10th of January, so I need to read it by the 21st of February. The next book that I picked up is not actually here yet, but it will be very soon, so I'll include it in this video anyway because I know it's going to turn up tomorrow, and that is The Scar, which is by CHIMAMANDA. This is the second one in the new Chromosome series, the first one being Perdido Street Station, and I'm going to be reading this with James. Hopefully we're going to be reading it the first week of February because, as I've said with all my other books, when I get a book I need to read it within 6 weeks, so my plan is to read it the first week of February with James, and I'm really hopeful about this. It's kind of in the new weird genre which CHIMAMANDA kind of coined, and it's very bizarre. The first one was very bizarre. This does not follow the same characters, but it is set in the same world. It's in a completely different part of the world, I believe. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be really interesting. I liked his first a lot, so hopefully I'll like this one too. And then the final book that I have for this haul is one that I bought for myself just because I want to read it, and that is this one, A Time of Dread by John Gwynne. It is the new release by him. It was also on my anticipated releases video, and this one came in on the 11th of January, so needs to be out by the 22nd of Feb. This is set in the same world as his Faithful and the Fallen series, which I actually just finished reading the 4th and final one of, so I will be reviewing that soon. I'm really happy that I've finished up that series so I can dive straight into this one with kind of a bit of knowledge in my mind from having read it really recently, and I'm definitely looking forward to this. I believe it's about a sort of war that's about to start between the Kadashim, who are these demon-like creatures, and the Ben Elim, who are the angel-like creatures of this world, and I don't know if we're going to have similar characters. Possibly we will see some crossover with characters, I'm not certain, but I'm really excited to give this a go. So that is the last one that I have for this video, and hopefully one that I will review very soon. So the good thing about my new strategy of buying these books is that it does force me to read them quicker, so when I haul them you should see them within a few weeks. The bad thing is it means that I really have to pick and choose what I want to buy. I mean, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. That's exactly why I'm doing it. I need to be more frugal with my money and make sure that I'm only buying things I'm definitely going to read in the next few weeks. So wish me luck, hopefully I can do it, and I would love to hear your thoughts on any of these books down below. Which do you want me to read first and why? And I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye guys!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.